Ready to jump into a real digital mystery.
Sounds intriguing.
It is. We're going deep on Satoshi Nakamoto.
Ah, the creator of Bitcoin.
The one and only.
You know, it's fascinating.
What is?
Well, we're talking about someone who invented something with the potential to, like, reshape global finance. But they choose to remain completely anonymous.
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
Not these days, no.
It really does make you wonder, doesn't it?
It really does.
So let's rewind a bit.
Back to the beginning.
Exactly. To Bitcoin's origin story.
Okay, right.
Picture this. It's 2008.
Oh, yeah, 2008.
Right after that massive financial crisis.
Everyone was reeling.
Big time. Trust in banks had completely evaporated.
Gone, just like that.
And then, seemingly out of nowhere,
Out of thin air.
this white paper appears online.
Titled
Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system.
Bah.
You guessed it, our mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto.
I mean, the timing couldn't be more perfect.
Right. Like it was a direct response.
To that whole crisis of trust?
Exactly. So, tell me more about this radical idea.
Well, Bitcoin, it's a decentralized system.
What does that mean?
It means there's no central authority.
No banks.
Yep.
Governments.
None.
So then, who's in control?
That's the amazing part. Just a network of computers.
His computer.
Verifying every single transaction.
Instead of like a bank or a government?
Precisely. You're relying on the network itself.
Huh. That's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is, isn't it?
So how does that even work?
That's where the blockchain comes in.
Okay, the blockchain.
Think of it like a digital ledger.
A ledger.
Yeah, but it's open for everyone to see.
Really?
Every Bitcoin transaction ever made is recorded on it.
Wow, that's incredible.
That transparency is what makes Bitcoin so revolutionary.
So anyone can see what's going on.
Absolutely. You can verify every transaction yourself.
And so can anyone else.
Exactly. No need to trust any single institution.
So it's like a giant public spreadsheet.
It's a good way to think about it.
Hold on, let me get this straight.
Sure.
So no banks, no governments,
Right.
just a network of computers making sure everything is on the up and up.
It's a self-regulating system.
Wow, so then what about that story about those pizzas?
Ah, yes. Bitcoin Pizza Day.
Those in 2010, right?
Yeah. Someone used Bitcoin to buy 2 pizzas.
Like with actual Bitcoin.
Yep. 10,000 Bitcoin to be exact.
Those pizzas must have been amazing.
Well, imagine if they held on to those Bitcoins.
They'd be
A
fortune.
Talk about a missed opportunity.
Right.
But speaking of mysteries,
What's that?
Satoshi Nakamoto disappears.
In 2011.
Just when Bitcoin was starting to gain traction.
It's like, why walk away from your creation right when it's taking off?
I know. Wouldn't you want to see it succeed?
Some believe it was to keep Bitcoin truly decentralized.
Free from any single influence.
Exactly. Others think they feared the consequences,
Right.
maybe government crackdowns or threats from big institutions.
Like they were afraid of their own creation.
Yes.
So it's almost like Satoshi dropped this bombshell,
On the world. And then vanished into thin air.
leaving us to figure out the rest.
It's a story straight out of a spy novel.
I know, right?
Okay, so let's talk about some of the people who might be Satoshi.
The suspects.
Exactly. Like Dorian Nakamoto.
Wrongly identified in 2014,
And then there's Craig Wright.
who claimed to be Satoshi.
Oh yeah, but he couldn't actually prove it.
These cases really make you think
About what?
about the importance of privacy,
And not believing everything you read.
especially in the world of cryptocurrency.
So we have people claiming to be Satoshi, but no proof.
Right.
But then we have people like Nick Szabo,
Ah, a fascinating figure.
the computer scientist, right?
Brilliant one.
And he had ideas similar to Bitcoin.
Even before Bitcoin existed.
So was Satoshi, inspired by Szabo's work.
It's possible Szabo denies being Satoshi, though.
Maybe they were working together?
Or maybe it was parallel thinking.
Like great minds think alike.
Exactly.
Okay, and then there's Hal Finney.
Another key figure in the early Bitcoin community.
And he actually received a Bitcoin transaction.
From Satoshi themselves.
Wow, so he knew Satoshi.
Well, we don't know for sure.
But he was one of the first people to use Bitcoin.
That's right.
Sadly, he passed away in 2014.
He did.
But before that, he also denied being Satoshi.
He even provided evidence to back it up.
So we've got all these characters connected to Bitcoin,
Each with their own unique story.
but none confirmed as Satoshi.
It's a puzzle with a lot of missing pieces.
Maybe we'll never solve it,
Maybe not.
but maybe that's part of the appeal.
The mystery keeps us guessing.
It really makes you think about anonymity in the digital age,
You know, Satoshi's anonymity allowed Bitcoin to flourish.
without being tied to any one individual.
Precisely.
I wonder if Bitcoin would have been as successful if Satoshi hadn't been anonymous.
It's an interesting thought, isn't it?
Okay, so we might not know who Satoshi is.
But we can still learn from the clues they left behind.
Let's dive into that next.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so let's play detective for a bit. We're on the trail of Satoshi.
Looking for those digital fingerprints.
And one thing that always amazes me
What's that?
is how good their code is.
Oh, yeah, Satoshi was a coding genius.
Like a master.
I mean, think about it. Bitcoin's code,
Yeah.
it's remained virtually untouched by hackers.
For all these years.
It's really a testament to their skill.
Right. It's like they built this digital fortress.
That's a good way to put it.
Impregnable?
Exactly. It's like they anticipated every possible attack.
Speaking of anticipating,
Yeah.
what about those linguistic clues?
Yes, Satoshi's writing.
It suggests they were fluent in British English.
It's a curious detail.
So does that narrow down the search at all?
It's hard to say for sure.
I mean, they could have been British.
Or just really good at writing like they were.
True.
But their writing style,
Yeah.
it's very precise, very technical.
So,
It suggests a strong background in computer science.
and cryptography.
Exactly.
So, okay, let me get this straight.
Sure.
We're looking for a coding genius. Fluent in British English
So far, so good.
and deeply knowledgeable about cryptography and economics.
That's right.
It's starting to sound like we're searching for a unicorn.
Well, there is another theory.
Oh, what's that?
What if Satoshi wasn't one person?
Whoa, hold on.
What if it was a group of people?
Like a team.
Exactly. The team theory.
That would make sense.
How so?
Well, to create something as complex as Bitcoin,
Yeah.
you'd probably need a team.
With different skills.
Exactly. A cryptography expert, an economics guru, a coding wizard.
Like assembling the Avengers of technology.
I like it. The Bitcoin Avengers.
It's an intriguing possibility, isn't it?
It is. But even if we never know who Satoshi really is,
Right.
their impact on the world is undeniable.
Absolutely. They challenged everything we thought we knew about finance.
And introduced this groundbreaking technology.
And sparked a movement that's still going strong.
It's amazing, really.
It is Satoshi's legacy.
It's immense.
They didn't just create Bitcoin, they gave us a blueprint.
For a decentralized future.
Where power is distributed.
And trust is built through technology.
Not institutions.
It's pretty poetic when you think about it.
How so?
This mysterious figure
Emerges from the shadows.
drops this bombshell on the financial world,
And then disappears.
leaving everyone to grapple with the implications.
It's a story that captures the imagination.
It really does.
And it challenges our assumptions about innovation.
Like, where do these groundbreaking ideas come from?
Exactly. Sometimes they come from the most unexpected places.
Okay, so let's talk about impact.
The impact of Bitcoin.
Yeah. It's inspired so many other cryptocurrencies.
Thousands of them.
And blockchain, the technology behind it.
It's being used for everything.
From supply chains to voting systems.
It's like they opened up a whole new world of possibilities.
But hasn't Bitcoin also been criticized?
Well, yes, every new technology faces challenges.
Like what?
Bitcoin's volatility.
Oh yeah, the price swings can be wild.
And its association with, let's say, less than legal activities.
Because of the anonymity.
In part, yes.
Yes, so it's like any powerful tool.
It can be used for good or for bad.
It all depends on how we choose to use it.
That's the key, isn't it?
But I think that's what makes Satoshi's story so fascinating.
Why is that?
It's not just about technology.
It's about human potential.
Our ability to innovate and disrupt.
And to question the status quo.
To imagine new possibilities.
To create something truly revolutionary.
And it all started with one person, or maybe a group of people,
Who knows?
who dared to dream of a different future.
A decentralized future.
So what do you think? What's Satoshi Nakamoto's lasting legacy? You know, we've talked about a lot.
We have, haven't we?
The origins of Bitcoin,
Yeah.
the suspects,
Right,
even why Satoshi might have decided to vanish.
right.
But you know, one question keeps popping into my head.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Will we ever actually know
No what?
who Satoshi Nakamoto really is?
It's the ultimate mystery, isn't it?
She really is.
And there are still so many people out there
Oh, yeah.
who are dedicated to figuring it out.
Really?
Trying to uncover Satoshi's true identity.
Huh. How do they go about doing that?
Well, some of them, they analyze the code,
The Bitcoin code.
looking for anything, you know?
Like what?
Hidden messages, stylistic quirks.
So they're like code detectives.
You could say that.
That's pretty cool.
And then you have others. They scour the internet.
What are they looking for?
Anything, really. Old forum posts, early Bitcoin discussions.
Wow, so they're like digital archaeologists.
I like that, digital archaeologists.
But what if Satoshi covered their tracks really well?
It's possible. Maybe we'll never know for sure.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
What does?
Like if they ever thought
But what?
that their identity would become such a big deal.
I know, right?
Do you think they're out there somewhere,
Maybe.
watching all this unfold?
And just laughing to themselves.
Or maybe they've just moved on completely.
Leaving Bitcoin behind to do its thing.
It's fascinating to think about.
It really is.
It's like Satoshi's become this blank slate.
How so?
We project our own ideas onto him
Own hopes and fears.
about technology, about the future,
It's like a Rorschach test.
for our views on the world.
Some people see Satoshi as a hero.
A visionary who set us free.
From traditional systems.
Others see them as a disruptor
Someone who upended the whole financial system.
and created chaos.
But that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
What is
Satoshi's absence allows for all these different interpretations.
to coexist
We can all have our own version of the story.
and our own vision for the future?
But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
Satoshi's creation changed the world.
No doubt about it.
They made us rethink everything.
Money, technology, even trust. So I have to ask,
What's that?
if you could ask Satoshi Nakamoto just one question,
That's a tough one.
what would it be?
Oh, there are so many questions.
But if you had to pick just one,
Well, I guess I'd want to know
Yeah.
what future they had in mind.
when they created Bitcoin,
Was it a world where everyone has more financial freedom?
more control over their own data?
Or was it something completely different?
I guess we may never know the answer to that question,
Probably not.
but maybe that's not the point.
What do you mean?
Maybe the real question is,
Yeah,
what future do you want to create?
with this technology, with this power.
Satoshi gave us the tools.
Now it's up to us to use them.
Will we create a more equitable world?
More decentralized world.
Or will we just repeat the mistakes of the past?
Those are the questions we need to be asking ourselves.
This deep dive has been quite the journey.
It has, hasn't it?
We started with a mystery,
Who is Satoshi Nakamoto?
and we ended up exploring some pretty big questions.
Questions about power, trust, innovation,
The future of finance?
and even the future of humanity.
And while we may never know the real answer to that first mystery,
The mystery of Satoshi's identity.
their story shows us something important,
What's that?
that even in our digital world,
Full of technology and data.
there's still room for mystery.
And for innovation.
So to all our listeners out there
The ones who are fascinated by the story.
who are curious about the future,
We have a challenge for you.
what's that?
Ask yourselves this question.
The same one I asked you earlier.
If you could ask Satoshi Nakamoto just one question
What would it be?
and let that question guide you,
As you continue to explore the world of cryptocurrency,
and the world of blockchain,
because this deep dive,
it's just the beginning.
there's a whole universe out there waiting to be discovered.
So keep exploring, keep asking questions.
And who knows,
Maybe one day.
the mystery of Satoshi Nakamoto will finally be solved.
But until then,
Keep diving deep.
we'll see you on our next adventure.